So, hello there, YouTube. In lieu of the recent economic numbers, 533,000 jobs lost in the United States, 71,000 jobs lost in Canada, 41,000 lost in Ontario alone. I thought it would be really important that for all those doubters of the North American Union out there, that you familiarize yourself, whatever, with the documents that have been released that are laying out the foundation for what we're going to go into. In 1999, Hubert Grubel had released the case for the Amero, the building of a North American monetary union, in which he laid out the reasons why the Amero in a common monetary currency or monetary union between Canada and the United States, it wasn't through Mexico, it was Canada-United States, would make sense economically, business-wise, for the consumer, for the financial institutions of North America, and so on and so on. And he laid it out. He actually picked a date for which it would be announced, January 1st, 2010. What's really important about the guy who authored the case for the Amero, the building of a North American monetary union, is that he is the creator of the euro. He worked on the formation and implementation of the euro. So it's not a report that should be taken lightly at all. The Fraser Institute of Vancouver, BC is a fairly conservative right-wing think tank out of Vancouver. The link for the Amero is over there. In 2003, the Canadian Council Chief Executives, which is the top 150 or 350, whatever number it is, executives that are left in Canada are a part of this group, the CCCE. And what they came up with was NASPI, the North American Security and Prosperity Initiative, in 2003. Shit, that sounds familiar, eh? So, again, I posted the NASPI link over there for you to download and read for yourself and see what they have to say. Well, I found the reinventing the borders a very interesting point of view and one of their main 5 requirements. The next thing is, again, in 2004, the CCE came up with the New Frontiers, which is basically just NASPI on steroids and crack. The link's over there for you to read for yourself. Check it out. And they basically went more in depth. What I found interesting about that report, and maybe you might too, get back to me, was that when they were talking about harmonizing regulations and harmonizing everything, they never once mentioned, a constitution, which because I think the Americans would be outraged, much like most of you were saying, so it's got to be done in secrecy, much like the European Union was done. But we all know it was done. And they talk about, the one key thing was they talk about how successful NORAD is, but they don't mention how NORAD was told to stand down on 9/11. Interesting. So that's all for you to reach out. And then in 2005, the Council of Foreign Relations had a task force that included such honorable members as Robert Pastor, John Manley, who's the ex-Liberal Deputy Prime Minister for Canada, Wendy Dobson, who is the president of CD Howe and was Paul Martin's assistant when the SPP was sound, Louis Rubio, who wrote one of the 3 letters to the Trilateral Commission, and a fair amount of other people were on the task force. I'm not going to go through all the names, but you can see it over there for yourself. I posted the link to the CFR building in North American community, and it's pretty straightforward. They talk about it being included by 2010. They talk about having, a one FDA type thing for drugs and biology, equipment, medical equipment for all of North America, harmonizing regulations, and how it's an ambitious goal, but it can be done by 2010. Economic collapse, anyone? Economic collapse, it's really interesting that if you read the CFR's building a North American community, okay, and you read the case for the Amero, the case for Amero actually makes a point of the need of an economic crisis in order to bring about a North American monetary union. So 2 + 2 = 4 in my world. And what else do you got? You got the SPP. I posted the links to the 2006 NACC report to leaders, and the NACC was designed along the Bilderberg as per the Council of Foreign Relations Task Force Group. And in that report to leaders in the 2006, I suggest you read it, go through it, and see what has been implemented since. I also posted the 2008 NACC report to leaders, which came out of New Orleans this past April. I also have posted the link to the Alberta NAFTA corridor transportation. Basically, it's Department of Transportation for the provincial government of Alberta and BC, and they have a map of all the NAFTA corridors, and they show the NAFTA superhighway. So what I also then did after that is, I believe Derek B had said something about a PowerPoint presentation. Well, I got your PowerPoint presentation over there. There's a Green Party PowerPoint presentation which you can download by a link, see for yourself. It has all the corridors, it has the water pipes and everything else. It's from the Green Party of Canada, but it is a PowerPoint presentation, so you can pass it around to your friends. I have a Seirra Club PDF over there about the North America and NAFTA SPP deal. I have 2002 letters written by to the Trilateral Commission from Robert Pastor. So there's a lot of links over there about the North American superhighway, the NAFTA corridor, the SPP, whatever you want to call it. But I think as people of North America, because that's the way we're going to be recognized, we really need to come to the conclusion that they've put the stuff out for us to see for ourselves. It's just a matter of us doing our own independent research and looking for it. And so I've tried to make it easier for those people who say, nah, it's a conspiracy. I don't think it is. I think it's fact. Problem, reaction, solution. So check out the links for yourself. There's a lot of info there. I hope you go through them. It's really important. My son's stealing an Oreo. It's really important that we look this information up for ourselves and we make informed decisions on what is taking place. A true patriot is one that doesn't take what he's told, but he questions authority and he does independent research. And whether or not you're Canadian, American, or Mexican, or Latin, or European, or Russian, or Indian, or African, or whatever, it really doesn't matter what you are. It's just we all have a responsibility to our children and our children's children, and our leaders aren't sharing in that responsibility by their actions. And so it's up to the people to take charge of that responsibility and let them know that we know what's going on. And it's up to us to push the agenda, because we're not being allowed. Yeah, we elect these people, but they don't represent us. They represent their lobbyists and their banker buddies and their corporate CEOs, and that's all parties, whether it be on the left or the right. They answer to the people who are putting money in their back pocket, and most normal citizens are not paying these political parties or these individuals. Barack Obama got most of his money from people like Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan, and how's that change? It's not really. And Ron Paul got more money from the people, and that's really what it's about. It's about people taking it back. And so there's a lot of information. Check it out for yourself. Read it, check it out, it's all there. You decide if it's one big conspiracy. Peace. Here, this one's for you guys. Bush knock down the towers. Bush knock down the towers. Wake up!